All right, we are here with the kickoff, season 2 of the kickoff, really, episode 1. We got a returning member from last season of the kickoff. Jaden, say what's up.
Yo, it's good to be back. That's all I
A-
gotta say.
Anything you want to shout out before we get started?
Shout out my TikTok and my Twitch. They're both well, one of them was Jaden Bleeds Blue, the other one's J Got Game. So yeah, Twitch, TTV, J Got Game, and then TikTok is Jaden Blue Bleeds Blue. I'm trying to post again, so yeah, just make sure you in there.
Gotcha. Surely those will be in the link in the description. There's like a 50-50 chance if I remember. But we are here, Madden League. This is the first time we've ever been on the PS5, so shout out to that. And I think we're into week 7, so we're almost about halfway. So we're calling this the early season update. Power rankings should have dropped before this, so shout out to your power rankings wherever you are. But I mean, these are just some of the updates, some of the things we wanted to talk about that have been going on in the league. So uh, let's get right into it. One of the bigger things, or one of the more interesting things, I mean, coming into the league, we thought J Daddy was probably going to be nasty. And he's coming in at 2-3 with a really good Raiders team. He's pretty much blown the team up. I mean, I don't even think he has his quarterback anymore. He's losing against nobodies. Shout out, just nobody's a nobody, but he's losing against people he probably should beat. And so J Daddy sitting at 2-3. I mean, he can still, obviously make a playoff push, but like this is a dude who was a Super Bowl player, who was contending with Brandon, contending with all the top players. I mean, a guy who was what, top 3 in the league, top 2, number 2 in his
Yeah,
prime.
yeah.
So I mean, coming in at 2-3 with the Raiders is not what you like to see at all.
I mean, okay, listen, J Daddy's one of those guys where he doesn't need the best players to win. I mean, last year or not last year, but the last time we actually were doing the kickoff and everything, he was winning games with Easton Stick as his quarterback. And this year it's a bit different, the mechanics and everything, but we'll get into that later. But it's a different game, definitely. I feel like in terms of like overalls and everything like that. So.
I
Yeah,
feel that.
it's definitely not the same J Daddy that we've seen previous. This, top two, top one players beating people by 40. It's not the same
Exactly.
guy.
Exactly. Maybe, but we'll see how it rounds out. Obviously, he has plenty of time to figure out the game, figure out the game plan he wants. Maybe we'll get him on here for an interview and figure out what's been going on. But moving on to another really disappointing start so far is Franny, because I mean, coming into this, we knew Franny was horrible in Madden 21. We knew he was horrible in Madden 20, but he was getting better, right? And this was the year. I mean, I played with him in Mutt a little bit. He's a solid player, right? And so coming in, I'm thinking, okay, you know what, Franny, probably maybe what, top 15, top 10 player, and he comes in at 1-5, and he just recently got blown. I mean, he recently just got uh, what, he got 34 points scored on him unanswered after
Yeah,
going up 17-0.
he got
And
obliterated
yeah,
first
and I
2 games.
mean, and so this is so like, what does the season even look like for Franny? Is he even a playoff team? Like, is he even like a wild card, like in the hunt type of player, or is he really down there with like a bottom 20 team? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. It's Franny at the end of the day. I think everybody had high expectations if you knew him at least like closely on a like semi-personal like basis, because he definitely got better. I think he's gotten better since he started playing, but I don't know. It's just tough to watch, especially when you had such high hopes for a guy like that. It's just tough to watch.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not like he got a bad team. He got Carolina, and he's pretty much kept the bulk of that team. He's got CMC, still got DJ Moore, and sure, maybe the quarterback position. He said he's struggling with Mayfield. He wants to get off of Mayfield, but even Mayfield's not like the worst of the worst. So like, I mean, he has had a pretty tough schedule. He played Brandon. He played another 6-0 team that we'll talk about in the Giants. He played Aiden Murphy, but I mean, you just got, if you're going to be a comp player, you got to beat good people, right? I would assume.
Yeah, I think maybe it's time for him to make some moves, but I know he's like kind of ruining a lot of his. He's burning a lot of bridges for no reason, honestly.
True.
So, I mean, it's gonna probably be a little bit harder for him to make trades, especially the trade deadline is closing in very, very fast. We'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. But moving on to the next topic, and probably one of the bigger surprises of the league. Who would have guessed? But we got BK Bulls and Younggriff Stiff sitting on top of the league, both at 6-0. Griff doing it with the Jaguars, and BK Bulls doing it with the Dolphins. I mean, Jaden, I just want to hear your thoughts on that before I go on.
I think Younggriff's season has been much more impressive, as he has significantly significantly worse team because you know the Dolphins have Tua, they have or not Tua, but they have Tyreek, they have Waddle, they have Gesicki, they have all these types of guys that are kind of cheese. So for him to do that with the Jaguars, who does he have on the offense? Trevor Lawrence, like yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Trevor
his
Lawrence.
running back is what's his name? I don't even know how to say his last name, but I can get him
Etney
up.
and Teeny
Yeah, yeah, I don't know whatever bro's name is, but yeah.
and James Robinson.
Yeah, far more impressive in my mind and a lot of others for what's his name? For
Younggriff.
Griffey.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Stiff.
I agree. I'm not gonna discredit BK Bulls because I mean he's out here really dominating people. Like I'm looking at the stats right now, and Tua is leading the league in passing with 34 touchdowns in Week 6, and the next highest is Patrick Mahomes with 22 touchdowns. So 34 touchdowns is literally insane. I mean he's dropped 80 points on 2 people. I want to say, I mean I think for BK Bulls is a little bit more fraudulent because it's like his strength of schedule has been pretty awful so far.
Yeah.
And so
I mean, it's
I'm
also a lot easier when you're, wide receivers at 86 speed. I'm not gonna say anything, but
yeah.
much easier,
Well,
much easier.
I'm interested to see how these two specifically progress because there is one other 6-0 team, and we'll talk about it. I'm interested to see how they progress into the season because, I mean, you got one. There's no real challenge in the AFC South. I mean, we'll talk about another player, and I mean, as far as the Dolphins go, he should run away with that division. But are they legitimate contenders in the playoffs? Can they beat a Brandon? Can they beat a J Daddy or a new user that's coming in? Do you think so?
Um, Honestly, do not know. I mean, we'll have to see. They have been playing fraudulent teams, though. I had to say, and people like Brandon, don't give him too much time because he's. I feel like a Brandon will eventually, like, even if they play, or sorry, I feel like Brandon will definitely. I'm not saying definitely beat him, but I don't know. I feel like Brandon's just one of those type of guys.
Kind of a different level. He's on a different level.
Yeah, he's a better player, definitely.
Gotcha. Moving on, we had a lot of new players in the league. Some of them have been pretty awful. Some of them have been really good, and we're gonna talk about some of the ones who've been really good. KC Chiefs coming in at 5-1, and then the Giants coming in as the other 6-0 team. I know we saw the Giants on one of the weeks. He beat Franny in a comeback win, and somehow he's just been kind of escaping through with wins. I'd love to get him on for the interview here, but I mean, a lot of these dudes, I appreciate them for being active. I think it's as far as new users, it's gonna be between the Giants and Couch and the Chiefs. So shout out to them. Hopefully, I mean I haven't spoken to him and we haven't really seen him on prime time. So as far as like what to expect from them, I want to see them continue to play, and hopefully we get some of the other newer users in here because most of them are about average, sitting at like 2-4. I mean, 4-2 from San Fran, which is pretty good. But then you got the 1-5 Patriots, the 2-4 Bears, who are all new users. Yeah, I mean, and Quan's doing pretty well. He's 4-2. I know Quan. He just beat Jonah 87-7, I think. But I mean, he beats up on some fraudulent teams. Some of his games against some of the better players have been pretty close. So that's some of the things we'll keep an eye on going forward through the year. But as far as our next topic, we got another solid player coming in at 5-1 with the Washington Commanders. He's been making some moves. He just picked up Eckler. I know he picked up McCole Hardman, and that's Perfect Liner.
Yeah.
And he's doing all right now.
Liner's my I'm not gonna say he's my guy, but I did bet money on him, so I mean I can't say he's not my guy.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that he should be 6-0. He kind of got screwed in that game against young bitch stiff. So
Jesus.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, if you were watching the game, this dude was getting just unlucky after unlucky. Yeah, he was making bad throws, bad reads every other, but the game was already out of reach. Had already gotten screwed. It was fumble off kickoffs, fumble off punt return. It was just the worst to
Mm-hmm.
watch. Like he was getting screwed in my opinion, but he should be 6-0. That's just me.
Gotcha. And I mean, if I'm not mistaken, we have a audio clip of a liner quote we want to bring up.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and play it right now. This is this is what he said after his week 1 loss, responding to some of the haters.
Great
And
game.
Franny's a bum, and he's gonna get blown out whenever the hell we play. So
Whew.
it'll be easy,
Whew.
light work.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Franny as a struggling player in this league right now, to say the least. I mean, you're at the very bottom of the power rankings. You're at the very bottom of just your overall record.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if that doesn't do something to you, he's talking about he's gonna blow you out. I don't know, man. But Liner, I hope he continues to, be Liner. Yeah, if you know how Liner plays, he's always gonna have a cheese play, and once they figure that out, he's gonna be screwed. I understand that. That's what happened during the week 1 game.
Mhm.
This guy literally locked him, and he just couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then but we gotta see. I hope Liner does make the playoffs. I like watching Liner play in terms of. I don't like watching him play. It's kind of boring. It's kind of like watching just the most boring player play. But it's he's definitely a presence that it goes unnoticed. It won't go unnoticed if he's in the playoffs.
Gotcha. I mean, you may call this a hot take, but going back to the Franny and Liner thing, I think Franny dominates Liner if they ever play. So I don't know Franny's schedule off the top of my head. I hope they do play, but I think Franny is a significantly better player than Liner when it comes to just X's and O's. Liner's a cheeser. Franny has some cheese plays, but he understands what he's doing a little better than Liner. If Liner just relies
I
on
mean,
good players.
we watched Franny get absolutely torched today by the cheese plays. So I don't know. We'll have to see. He got absolutely demolished by Mr. Aiden Murphy today. So
Yeah, but like Liner, think about the cheese play Liner's runs. Screens. Oh, okay. Screens and out routes. That's not like that's different than a 97-yard bomb to Van Jefferson down there. Like, I mean, those are
talking about Liner, but this guy does his homework. This guy will go out of his way. This dude will go online. He will watch the VOD back. I know this guy. He'll watch the VOD back and pick up this play and know how to do it. And will go into practice mode and learn it. This guy is. When it comes to cheesing, there's nobody better than this guy. He's dedicated to his art of cheesing.
he's dedicated to his craft.
Yeah, definitely.
Respect. All right, moving on to our last point. We kind of wanted to hit on some of the kind of the game mechanics and what people have been struggling with and what people have been cheesing with since this is our first time on PS5. A lot of us are coming from current gen, especially me. And so, Jaden, you've been on PS5. You've been playing next gen a little longer than I have. Can you hit on some of the things that are most important for like a new player to like watch out for in terms of differences and mechanics?
Well, I think the most important difference is definitely going to be the slower type of play. Because everybody, you see everybody slower this year. Tyreek Hill goes from having 95 speed to 87. So you got to look at it that way. Everybody's playing slower. Everybody just moves slower. The aggro catching is overpowered this year sometimes when it comes to corners and wide receivers. I mean, watch it today. This dude Cooper Cup was just absolutely mossing the corners. It was disgusting to watch. It wasn't fun to watch. This dude was just going up, putting his balls in his mouth and everything like that. He was gargling.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
yeah, he was going crazy to say the least. Aggro catching, also, just the way you use in the middle of the field, you got to be very aware because it's going to be impossible to try to get a lurk if you don't have lurker. So yeah, just it's important to know what the game is and like just a different product. You have to know it's going to be a different product. You have to play it like it is a different product. You can't play like it's 21 or 22. So yeah.
I mean, a lot of the good players, when they play these really bad players in the league, they just spam blitz, right? And I mean, that's really what's causing these big, gigantic blowouts, these 70s to 7. So, I mean, in your opinion, for a new struggling player that can't defend the blitz, doesn't know what they're doing, throwing into triple coverage because you got a unblocked DN coming off the edge or an unblocked cornerback, what's you have any advice for them as to what to do?
Definitely go on Twitter. There's a lot of people, a lot of like just Twitter users that know how to, that have like formations to set up, and you just have to honestly just block your running back. You can't run. 5 out this year is basically like a non-existable formation unless you know it's gonna be open every single time. So yeah, just make sure you go on Twitter. You look at, if you don't have Twitter, go on Reddit. If you don't have Reddit, go on YouTube. Everybody's YouTube. There is plays that you can stop blitz from, and that's really it. You gotta just, even it's might sound corny, but you gotta just put in the time. I don't know if you, I don't care if you don't care that you're getting blown out, but I honestly wouldn't like going out there every single day having to play a game for 40 minutes just to get blown out by 40 every single time.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty embarrassing. But that's gonna be your kickoff early season update. We're gonna try to do these at least probably drop this once a week. I mean, the kickoff. I mean, the Madden League season should be about a 3 week long season. So expect a mid season update, a end of season update, and a post season update. As far as some other little things I have planned, I definitely want to get some of you guys' like clips. I already have some clips from the primetime games that I'm gonna kind of compose and drop some of those. But if you got any like just crazy off the wall things you want us to all see, definitely send those to me. Other than that, I think we're good. Jaden, is there anything else you want to add before we get up out of here?
honestly, let's try to get. I would say let's try to get somebody on, either for the episode after this or the episode after next,
Gotcha.
because we did that back in what was it, the first season, and
Mhm.
people really liked it. People liked seeing what others had to say about them,
Mhm.
and it honestly just makes the league better. I would love to have Juicy on here because for being such a mid player, he loves talking the most. So,
Jesus.
you know, it's like how you're gonna go 3-2 and then start talking all this, crazy nonsense in chat and everything like that. But I do love his flair. I like what he brings to the game. But just be better if you're gonna talk the most. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, but let's try to get some of you guys on. Hit my DMs, and then me and Dallas will talk about it, obviously. But if you do want to possibly join, just yeah, let me know in my DMs. I'll hit up Dallas. Well, if you want to, you can. But yeah,
Sounds good. With that being said, you guys have a blessed day, a blessed afternoon, blessed night, whatever time this comes out. I have no clue. Link in the bio for all of Jaden's stuff and my Twitch stuff. You want to come watch these primetime games because they're fire, most of them, unless some
yeah.
scrubs getting blown out. But outside of that, y'all have a blessed night. Toodles.
Peace.